In the heart of West Africa, where the Sahel meets the savannah, a nation of 21 million people is witnessing a transformation that defies conventional wisdom. Under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore, at just 36 years old, the world's second youngest president, Burkina Faso, has embarked on a journey that challenges traditional notions of development and sovereignty in Africa. The story begins in the corridors of power, where Traore made his first symbolic yet profound statement. In a region often criticized for governmental excess, he reduced ministerial and parliamentary salaries by 30%, redirecting those funds to increase civil servant wages by 50%. This wasn't merely an administrative decision, it was a declaration of values, a signal that public service should be about sacrifice and equitable distribution rather than privilege. But it was in the realm of economic sovereignty that Traore's vision began to take its most dramatic shape. In a move that sent ripples through international financial circles, he rejected the traditional pathway of development loans from the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. Africa doesn't need the World Bank, IMF, Europe, or America, he declared, backing his words with action by focusing on internal resource mobilization and sustainable development. The results of this bold stance began to materialize in surprising ways. Burkina Faso's GDP grew from $18.8 billion to $22.1 billion, a testament to the possibility of growth without external dependency. More importantly, this growth was built on a foundation of real productive capacity rather than debt-fueled expansion. In the agricultural heartland of Burkina Faso, a revolution was taking place quietly but persistently. The distribution of over 400 tractors, 239 tillers, 710 motor pumps, and 714 motorcycles might seem like mere statistics, but for the farmers receiving them, they represented liberation from centuries of manual labor and limited productivity. The impact was immediate and measurable. Tomato production surged from 315,000 metric tons to 360,000 metric tons. Millet production reached 1.1 million metric tons, and rice production increased by 46,000 metric tons. Perhaps most symbolically powerful was the establishment of Burkina Faso's first 2 tomato processing plants. In a country where post-harvest losses had long plagued farmers, these facilities represented more than just industrial capacity. They were a statement about value addition and self-sufficiency. No longer would Burkina Faso farmers watch their harvest rot in the fields due to lack of processing facilities. The transformation extended to the cotton sector, where the construction of the country's second processing plant doubled the nation's capacity to process its own cotton. The establishment of the first National Support Center for Artisanal Cotton Processing further demonstrated a commitment to supporting local industry at all scales, from individual artisans to industrial operations. But it was in the gold sector that Traore's vision of resource sovereignty took its boldest form. The inauguration of a state-of-the-art gold mine in 2023 wasn't just about extraction. It was accompanied by a ban on the export of unrefined gold to Europe. This decision, while controversial in international circles, represented a fundamental shift in how African resources could be managed for African benefit. The rejection of colonial vestiges extended beyond economics into the cultural sphere. The ban on British legal wigs and gowns in local courts, replacing them with traditional Burkinabe attire, might seem superficial at first glance. However, it represented a deeper decolonization of institutions, a statement that African solutions and traditions have a place in modern governance. Infrastructure development under Traore's leadership has been equally ambitious. The ongoing construction of the Ouagadougou-Donsin Airport, designed to handle 1 million passengers annually, represents a belief in Burkina Faso's future as a regional hub. New roads are being built, existing ones widened, and gravel surfaces upgraded to pavement, the physical manifestation of a nation building for its future. Perhaps, most controversially, Traore's administration took decisive steps in asserting political sovereignty, banning French military operations and media presence in Burkina Faso, and expelling French troops. These actions, while drawing international criticism, resonated deeply with a population yearning for true independence from former colonial influences. What makes Traore's achievements more remarkable is the time frame in which they occurred. In just 2 years, his administration has managed to pay off local debts while simultaneously investing in productive capacity and infrastructure. This challenges the conventional wisdom that development must come at the cost of either independence or fiscal responsibility. The impact of these changes extends beyond mere statistics. In markets across Burkina Faso, vendors now sell locally processed cotton products. Farmers deliver their tomatoes to processing plants rather than watching them spoil. Gold workers know their labor contributes to domestic refinement rather than raw export. These changes represent not just economic transformation, but a restoration of dignity and purpose to labor. Yet perhaps Traore's most significant achievement lies not in any single policy or project, but in what he has proven possible. As the world's second youngest president, separated by just 59 days from Iceland's Prime Minister Kristrún Mjolfrostadóttir, he has demonstrated that youth is no barrier to bold, transformative leadership. In rejecting traditional development paradigms while achieving measurable progress, he has shown that alternative paths to development exist. As Burkina Faso continues its transformation, the question isn't just about what Traore has achieved in 2 years, but what his example means for Africa and the developing world. In an era where many nations struggle with questions of sovereignty, development, and identity, Burkina Faso under Traore offers a compelling case study in the possibility of charting an independent course while achieving tangible progress. For a continent often told to wait its turn, follow established patterns, and accept its place in the global order, Traore's Burkina Faso presents a different narrative, one where African solutions, African leadership, and African determination can forge a new path to development and dignity. As the sun sets on another day in Ouagadougou, the capital city's expanding skyline stands as a testament to what becomes possible when a nation dares to imagine and pursue its own destiny. The story of Ibrahim Traore and Burkina Faso isn't just about one country or one leader. It's a call to action for all Africans and supporters of African independence. To African youth, your time is now. Age is not a barrier to leadership. Dream big, prepare yourselves, and step forward to lead. To African nations, alternative paths to development exist. The choice between sovereignty and progress is a false one. Look to Burkina Faso's example of charting its own course. To African leaders, bold decisions yield bold results. The courage to break from traditional development paradigms can unlock unprecedented growth. To the international community, Africa is rising on its own terms. The time for partnership based on equality, not dependency, has come. If you've been inspired by Burkina Faso's journey under Ibrahim Traore, don't keep this story to yourself. This is a narrative that needs to be heard across Africa and around the world. Hit that like button if you believe in Africa's potential for self-determined development. Subscribe to join our community of forward-thinking individuals who believe in Africa's renaissance. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on more inspiring stories of African leadership and transformation. Share this video with someone who needs to know that Africa is writing its own story. Drop a comment below sharing your thoughts on which of Traore's achievements impressed you the most. Let's start a conversation about Africa's future. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on more videos exploring African leadership, development, and independence. Together, we're not just watching history, we're participating in Africa's renaissance. As the sun sets over Burkina Faso, it rises on a new era of African possibility. Ibrahim Traore's achievements in just 2 years are not just success stories, they're blueprints for a new Africa. The question is no longer whether African nations can chart their own course, but who will be next to follow Burkina Faso's example. The future of Africa lies not in following paths laid by others, but in blazing new trails toward true independence and prosperity. This is more than a moment, it's a movement, and in the words echoing across Burkina Faso today, Africa's destiny lies in African hands.